Gun laws take center stage later today. President Trump hosts a bipartisan group of lawmakers at the White House to meet on that. A bit earlier, I talked to the House Majority Leader Kevin McCarthy about all of this. Good morning and welcome back here.
Bill, thanks for having me back.
This is a tender moment in Florida today. What should America expect on the gun matter from Congress?
Well, the first thing we should look at is make sure any of those failures that happened, this individual, this Mr. Cruz, never should have had a weapon. From the local police, we're at a hearing now more than 30 times at the House. FBI was literally warned that this individual said he was going to be a school shooter, the failure there. And then the background check, and this is where Congress comes in, you know, the National Instant Criminal Background Check. This is something that we passed back in December that is sitting over in the Senate.
I don't think this killer had a criminal record, but whether it's bump stocks or background checks for on the criminal side or mentally ill side, can you legislate all that now?
We can't legislate everything if we're going to change, but we can legislate to improve the background check. If you look at this individual, you look at the shooter in Texas as well, there are places that there are holes that we need to make sure we clean up. There's also a place that we can look at former sheriff of Jacksonville. He's a congressman now. He's proposed actually different grants within the school funding to be able to help protect the schools from that point. Those are places we should look at. The ATF, Congress and the Senate never even voted on the idea of a bump stock. That is something that was approved through the ATF. We directed the ATF to revise that, take that back, and so they should be looking at that. That should be done. But there are ways that we should look at this. And then we passed a bill last Congress dealing with mental health. That's been being implemented. We're going to have hearings to see where we need to fill in more from that process and make sure that engages even further.
Very interesting. I've got a number of topics. Just going through them quickly, okay? Did the Supreme Court give you a pass on DACA? Basically saying you don't need to settle this now because they pushed it off and said, wait till the appeals court manages it?
No, I mean, the deadline maybe had been strung out a little further, but we need to solve DACA. Our immigration system is broken. The president has put out a plan that I believe that can solve it and that you wouldn't come back to it in another 2 years. I'm pretty disappointed with the Democrats.
Based on what the court said, you don't have to settle it now.
You don't have to settle it by March 5th, no. But we need to settle this problem. We shouldn't have this problem perpetuate itself into the future. So we'll continue to work to solve this problem, to make sure we secure the border, look at the chain migration as well.
Midterms. 2 weeks from yesterday, you got another special election in Pennsylvania. It's going to get a lot of attention. You can lose, I think, 24 seats as of today. How do you handicap your odds of keeping the majority in the House?
Well, we will keep our majority, especially if you look at what has been done in Congress.
You will.
We will. Look at where tax reform is. Think of this. If we lost the majority, Nancy Pelosi would become Speaker. They just had a headline this week that Nancy Pelosi is the most conservative Democrat running in Congress in San Francisco. She believes the taxes from idea was Armageddon, that the idea that people got bonuses were absurd in that process. I don't think that's the direction America wants to go. So I know there's a lot of talk about where this election is going and where history proves, but at the end of the day, we will keep the majority.
They're suggesting, too, that your home state of California is moving further left with the shunning of Dianne Feinstein this past week. Two other topics quickly. Opioids, rather. It's a big deal. What is Congress going to do now, as we have talked about this issue for years now, sir?
Look, more than 170 people a day die from opioids. Last Congress, we actually passed CARA that dealt with this, and in the budget agreement, we actually put some more money in for opioids. So Energy and Commerce is holding a hearing today, and it's a series of hearings, and also ways and means of ways that we can actually cure this problem, because this is an epidemic across the United States, teaching every area.
A lot of folks wondering what's the holdup. Finally, Billy Graham, what does this day mean to you and other lawmakers today, lying in honor?
This is a very solemn day. Billy Graham will only be the fourth American who will lie in honor, and he deserves that honor for the way he carried his life, the character, and the number of people that he had reached with the message and the love of Jesus Christ. I just think Billy Graham, when you look back, he was an individual that reached across the aisle to all presidents, and he's an individual that deserves the right to lie in honor, and I think you'll find many members of Congress there today to pay their respects to a man that did so much for this nation and this world.
Amen to that. Thank you, sir. Kevin McCarthy, Majority Leader. Come on back, okay, real soon. Thanks.
Thanks.